What's up, guys? I'm Jordan Schneebelt. You're in the SuperATV garage. I know you're wondering, why do we have a jigsaw? Today we're going to install a rear sliding vent into this windshield. So if you've got a factory windshield that's poly, if you've got a SuperATV rear windshield that's poly, and you want to put a vent in it, we now have a kit to do so. So this kit comes with a template. The window itself, it is locking. You can slide that open, allow air through the rear of the machine. Today we're going to show you how to put it in a polycarbonate window. We're going to install this in this rear windshield. This is for a Can-Am Defender. It will fit, this kit will fit any polycarbonate windshield. The dimensions are on the website. If you're questionable on how it'll look on yours, check it out. You can lay it out on there, get kind of a feel on how it's going to look. These are the tools you're going to need for this install. So in this kit, there's only 3 components. You're gonna get a bag of hardware, you're gonna get your actual vent that's gonna go in the windshield, and you're gonna get a template. You'll notice on this template, it says top. So what you wanna do is, you wanna lay it out, so that way all your buttons and everything line up on the vent, and then you're gonna lay it out where it says top on your windshield, just the way you want it. This is how it's gonna install directly through the windshield, so make sure you have it oriented where this is the bottom of our windshield, this is the top. Make sure top, pretty simple. But once I've got that laid out, like I said, I'm gonna sit it down. We're gonna pull this part off and set it to the side. First thing I'm gonna do, grab the silver Sharpie. We're gonna find the center points of this template that's provided, and we're gonna mark those on there. You can use a standard tape measure. If you have a metric tape measure, it makes things that much easier. We're gonna mark the top and bottom first, and then we'll do the sides. All right, now that we've got our template marked, we can go ahead and mark the actual face of the windshield. Now on this windshield, I'm installing it on a brand new rear windshield, so I still have the protective film on the front and the back. If you're doing it on a windshield that's been previously installed, the first thing you want to do is clean everything off of it. Use something that does not have ammonia in it, and then obviously lay a protective barrier down. So we've got bubble wrap below ours just to keep from sliding it around, keep from scratching it up while we're working in the process. And we're gonna go ahead and mark top and bottom. All right, now that you've got your lines marked, you got a rough idea of where they're going, we're gonna take painter's tape, lay it out. That's gonna allow us to mark the windshield without drawing a giant Sharpie line on the windshield. We're gonna go right over top of the lines we just made, and then we're gonna come back and mark our 680 again on top of the painter's tape. All right, and then the same way we did it before, we're gonna grab a measurement from the top down. If you want yours a little bit higher or a little bit lower, you can do that too. You just offset your measurement. Right now, I'm just trying to find the center. Same thing, we're gonna throw painter's tape across it. It's gonna help us keep track of our lines. We're gonna throw that down, and then we're gonna remark those lines on top of the painter's tape. So those are our lines for centering this kit up. All right, so learning curve here. Make sure your sides are perfectly straight. My sides are at a bit of a slant. I'm gonna go ahead and lay painter's tape out in the middle. All right, we're gonna make a measurement from the bottom, which is our straight side, or from the top, whichever. We'll lay those lines out first, 258, 258, and then from those lines, we can grab our halfway point. So we want to line that up with the line that is our perfect center. That gives us 1360 as our measurement, which gives us 680. And we'll just double check that measurement from this side that we are at 680. So we're in good shape there. Everything is centered. We're gonna square off this top side, find our line, make sure everything's squared up there, make sure you're on your line, and we're gonna bring that line straight down. And if we do it just perfectly, everything should line up. Take our template, we're gonna lay it back on, make sure everything lines up the way we want it to. So there we are. All of our lines are touching, all our lines are connected. That means we are square. So what we can do beyond this point, I'm gonna go ahead and put tape in these corners just to hold the template down. I'm gonna put tape underneath to give me something to mark on top of. We're gonna kind of mark out this entire area with tape. It's gonna provide a protective surface for your jigsaw to run on so you're not scratching your windshield, as well as give you the ability to make lines without marking all over the windshield, and it makes it a little more visible for you. All right, there we go. Now we can lay our template back in with the lines we had, get our center lined up, make sure our top line's good, and we can go ahead and draw out or stencil out where we're gonna cut. All right, now that we've got the inside traced, make sure you mark your holes. We're gonna drill those here at the end. We did not include those tools at the beginning, but we're gonna add them afterwards. All right, so now that we've got it marked out here on our windshield, everything's ready to go, we can start cutting. One thing to mention, there are indentions. You'll notice a few of them around the template. You do want to make sure that you cut those or groove them out. So on the back side of this windshield, there's a couple rivets, screws and different things that you want to make sure you have clearance for. So we're going to make sure we notch those out as well to leave room for those for the hardware on the slider to go through the windshield. All right, so for this step, we're going to need a drill and a fairly large bit. What we're gonna do is drill a pilot hole in the center of the template that's gonna allow us to get our jigsaw started and through. We're gonna need a 1/4 inch bit, and that's to drill out our holes on the outside for our hardware. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna kind of slide this back where it's just barely off of our table. And I'm gonna drill a hole somewhere here in the corner. You can kind of start where you want. I like to start on the edge. Slow is the key to drilling poly. You don't want to crack it. But we're going to go nice and slow all the way through the material. And there you are. We're going to use something with real fine teeth on it. A lot of them they're referred to as metal or bimetal blades. You don't want anything with a real sharp tooth count. It's going to make it real hard to cut through this poly. We're going to start on the bottom side. I'll kind of move this windshield around as we do the rest of it. All right, we've got the bottom side cut. Again, go slow. If you heat this blade up, it's gonna start melting through the material. You don't want that, so we're gonna go nice and slow. I'm gonna do the full outline first and then come back in and do the indentions there at the very end. There we go. So our centerpiece is free now. You get your indentions, we'll get those now. All right, we're gonna get both sides marked. I'm gonna peel this tape back a little bit so I can see what I'm working with. And then we'll get in there and notch those out. All right, we've got those notched out. Now we're gonna go around the 4 dots we made for our alignment holes. We're gonna go through and drill those for our hardware. I'm gonna take a Dremel. You can take or a die grinder. You can take a file if you have a die grinder, a Dremel. We're gonna clean up these notches. If you've got a blowgun, you can take a blowgun, blow all the excessive material off. If you don't, you're like Braden, You can use the hot air coming out of your mouth. But all I'm going to do is go through and clean up these notches where the jigsaw left it a little bit rough. One more time, we're going to hit this with a blowgun. Remove that protective film. If you have protective film, if you have a deburring tool, you can use it, clean the edges up. If you don't, sandpaper works just as well. All right, now that we've got all our deburring done, we can go ahead and peel the rest of our protective film off. All right, so now that we've got this process done, we'll make sure that this drops in. There's 4 nuts and bolts that come in a little hardware bag inside the kit, just like that. All right, so our sealing washer and bolt is gonna go on the front side. On the outside, it's gonna act as a gasket between the frame of the slider and the material itself. We'll drop all those in. With any luck on your side, they will all line up. All right, we're gonna spin the piece around very carefully, and we're gonna go ahead and put our nuts on the back side. All right, so once your bolts are installed, tighten them up, and that's all there is to installing this sliding window kit in any SuperATV or factory rear windshield, as long as it's polycarbonate. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. If you want to purchase one of these for yourself, head over to SuperATV.com.